Here we go with chapter 4. Invitations. So we left off the last chapter with Bella saying that was the first night she dreamed of Edward coming. So we get to hear about her dream. It seems like a very boring dream. It's dark. And he's walking away from her. And she's trying to catch up, and she's running, trying to catch up with him, and she can't, and he doesn't turn around. And then apparently wakes her up. And then apparently he's in her dream nearly every night after that. Tyler, who would, the guy who was driving the van, that nearly killed her. Tyler Crowley was impossible, following me around, obsessed with making amends to me somehow. He feels bad because he could have killed you. But Bella doesn't understand normal human emotions, so. Oh look, he's hot for her now too. Somehow nearly killing her makes him hot for her. Because Mike and Eric were even less friendly toward him than they were to each other, which made me worry that I'd gain another unwelcome fan. So this is what, 3 boys now that are hot for her? None of them are love interest? Are you serious? She keeps telling people that Edward was next to her when we all know he wasn't, but she's lying because that's just what she does. And everybody's saying they didn't see him there until the van was pulled away. Oh, chagrin. She says chagrin. Oh, that's oh, that's like Stephanie Meyer's favorite word, chagrin. It's most of the time it's used wrong. She's like, but no one else had seen him so far away. No one else noticed? Because she's the only one who stares at him all the time and has this obsession with him. She even says that. Not in the same words, but just how we say, no one else watched him the way I did. How pitiful. Yes. Yes, you are. The first day after the accident, she, goes into biology and says hi to him. He just kind of nods and ignores her. He ignores her. She's miserable. It says, I was miserable. She talks about him ignoring her, and then says that she's miserable. So it looks like him ignoring her makes her miserable. This guy she's talked to all of twice. Seriously. Okay. Her first interaction with him, the first day she even is aware of his existence, her first day of school, he gives her death glares. They have no contact other than him giving her death glares. He's gone for a week. They then have a very boring conversation about her, I might add. She knows nothing about him, really, besides what other people have told her. And the day after that is the Van O'Doom, and they have an argument over whether or not he's got, like, super speed or shit. And that's it. And he's not talking to her, so now she's miserable. Oh my god. Despite my outright lies, the tenor of my emails alerted Renee to my depression. Renee's her mother. Not sure if I mentioned that. And she called a few times, worried. The fact that the boy that she's talked to all of twice is ignoring her has her so depressed that her mother can even tell in emails. That's pathetic. Mike's apparently pleased though that she and Edward aren't talking. Mike's still planning a beach trip. I think I mentioned that a couple of chapters ago. He's planning a beach trip. And we're suddenly in March. 2 chapters ago it was January. Because they were talking about the first snowfall of the new year. It was January. Now it's the first Tuesday in March. Anyway, Jessica calls her and because there's a girls' choice spring dance in a couple of weeks that Jessica wants to ask Mike to. She wants to make sure it's okay with Bella. Jessica wants to make sure that Bella's not planning on asking Mike. But Bella says she's not going. Dancing was glaringly outside my range of abilities because she's occasionally spectacularly clumsy. It's very rarely mentioned. But she's apparently spectacularly clumsy. She's talking about that she suspects that Jessica enjoyed her inexplicable popularity more than her actual company. Yeah, well, because I'm sure your company would suck because you're a bitch. The next day, Jessica's not as cheerful. But Bella doesn't ask because if Mike had turned her down, I was the last person she would want to tell. So they go to biology. Mike tells her that Jessica asked him to dance. He apparently had told her that he had to think about it because he was wondering if Bella might be planning to ask him. Mike, I really think you should tell her yes, I said. Did you already ask someone? Did Edward notice how Mike's eyes flickered in his direction? They spoke twice. They haven't spoken for a month. Why would he think that she asked Edward? It makes no sense. She tells him she's not going to the dance. Why not? Mike demanded. Well, that just makes Mike sound like an asshole. I was feeling bad for him because obviously she hasn't told him she's not interested. So he might think he's got a thing for her and he thinks she might be interested, and she's just like, you should go with Jessica because I'm not gonna ask you because I'm a bitch. She just decides to go to Seattle the day of the dance. And Edward just looks at her. Seriously. Bitch. Oh my god, Edward talks to her. Bella, his voice shouldn't have been so familiar to me, as if I'd known the sound of it all my life rather than just a few short weeks. Yeah, as if, it shouldn't be familiar to you, because you've only spoken to him twice. She asks, are you speaking to me again? He tells her it's better that they're not friends. It's too bad you didn't figure that out earlier, I hissed through my teeth. You could have saved yourself all this regret. Regret? The word and my tone obviously caught him off guard. Regret for what? For not just letting that stupid man squish me. She sounds like a 5-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. You wish you'd just let me die. Jen complains about Jen. Her truck apparently wasn't damaged in the accident. She'd only had to replace the taillights. And Tyler's parents had to sell their van for parts. Eric's standing there by her truck. He asked her to the dance. The girl's choice dance. Yeah, Bella Swan is so fucking awesome that she's got boys asking. She's got a guy asking her to the girl's choice dance. You know, we've already got Mike, who was. I'll give Mike. You know, he was just didn't want to say yes to Jessica without knowing if Bella was going to ask him. And yeah, anyway. Then Eric's just like straight up asks her to the dance, which is a girl's choice. She tells him she's going to Seattle. Edward walks by and laughs. She gets in her truck, starts to pull out of the parking lot. Edward pulls out of his space and just stops. Like an asshole. Because the rest of his family's not in the car yet. He stops. He pulls out of the parking space and stops and waits for the rest of his family. Like an asshole. Blocking Bella. Tyler's right behind her. Tyler gets out of his car and comes up to her. For some reason, the passenger side window. I don't know why. It seems like it would have been much easier for him to come up to the driver's side window. He goes around for a truck. Blah, blah. He asks her to ask him to the spring dance. Tyler does. Oh gosh, this is just ridiculous. The blatant suishness. She's had 3 guys ask her to the girl's choice dance. She tells her she's not going to be in town. Yeah, Mike said that, he admitted. Then why? He shrugged. I was hoping you were just letting him down easy. That just makes me want to punch him in the face. She tells him she really is going out of town. That's cool, we still have prom. And then Edward leaves, so she leaves. She goes home. Jessica calls. Mike agreed to go dance with her. Bella suggested Angela, who was in the shy girl from the biology class. That was mentioned once in North chapter. She says she should go with Eric and Lauren, who I don't think we've had any mention of before. Lauren, a standoffish girl who had always ignored me at the lunch table. Anyway, she says Lauren should ask Tyler. There's this matchmaker shit going on. She tells her she's going to Seattle. And she starts thinking about Edward, because she's a psycho. Thinking about what he meant when he said it was better if they weren't friends. She talked about it must be because she's not interested. He didn't want to lead her on. Because He must see how absorbed I was by him. He must not want to lead me on. So we couldn't even be friends because he wasn't interested in me at all. And she talks about how not interesting she is and how fucking awesome Edward is. This self-depreciating stuff really pisses me off. Like, this is about heroin, and she just talks about how much she sucks. Yeah, of course, at the same time, we've got the blatant Suishness of all these boys like her, and she was in an advanced placement program, and she's so smart, and everyone loves her, and everyone's heard of her. But at the same time, we've got this self-depreciating, I suck so much sort of thing. She tells Charlie she's going to Seattle. Talks about Seattle being a big city. She talks about how Phoenix is 5 times as size as Seattle. Will you be back in time for the dance? Grr. It literally says grr. Only in a town this small would a father know when the high school dances were. Sure. And next morning... Oh, Edward pops up in the parking lot just randomly goes. He goes. They talk boringly. He offers to give her a ride to Seattle the day she's planning on going to Seattle. He tells her they can't be friends, and then the next day he's like, well, you want to ride to Seattle? No, fuck, Edward. They argue over going to Seattle and her trucking gas. I said it would be better if we weren't friends, not that I didn't want to be. The fuck, Edward. Oh, thanks, now that's all cleared up. Heavy sarcasm. Yeah, you didn't need to tell us that. We could have figured that out on our own. She tells him she'll go with him to Seattle, and then you really should stay away from me. He is just one big walking contradiction, isn't he? My chapter was just dumb. It just kind of showed Bella being a uber Sue. A self-depreciating uber Sue. And Edward being bipolar. Like, that was it. Ugh.